So in this episode, it's titled Last Swan Song. So in this episode we have Hook has brought all the dark ones, all the previous dark ones, from the underworld. Their plan is to wipe out light magic for good. So in order for them to stay, here on land, they have to swipe themselves with some other people. So they pick it's Snow White, Charming, Henry, Regina, Robin Hood, and of course Rumpelstiltskin. So once Emma and them got the memory back, they got to figure out how to stop them. So Emma decides that to get rid of the dark ones for good, that she's going to sacrifice herself by using Excalibur to absorbing all the dark magic, and thus killing herself in the darkness with it. So she left a letter for her mother and her son, and Snow ends up reading it, and she's like, oh, we gotta go stop her and everything. And then once Nimue and everyone is onto them, they sort of send them to the lake. Well, what's his name? It's the guy who brings you to the underworld. What's his name? I know it. Is it Sharon? No, I think you know guys who I'm talking about. The guy who was in a boat and everything. So he's getting ready to take them, and that's when Emma tries to plead. No, that's when we get a backstory about Hook. So we see Hook's father. I'm like, damn, Hook's daddy was cute as hell. Hell yeah. And so find out when Hook and his brother was young, he was on a ship. Daddy said, give him the story, you gotta know what the man you want to be, and he ends up leaving them. Come to find out, Daddy was in trouble, so he sold his sons into servitude. Of course, years later, we know Killian becomes the famous Captain Hook. He gets into the issue with Rumpelstiltskin over Mira. So we're at that point, as after Rumpelstiltskin kills his wife and takes Hook's hand. He's in revenge, and so this is also a time where Regina is the evil queen. So she enlists Hook to go kill Cora. If you guys remember that episode, I think that was in season 3. Yeah, I believe season 3 because we were going as Peter Pan around that time because he was introducing the Hook. So she needed to know that Hook could get the job done. So she takes him to this tavern, and he thinks he has to fight this big drunk guy, and Regina knows, no, not him. And she turns his head to the barkeep. Find out that's his daddy. So pretty much Regina's thing is, if you could kill your own father, you should have no problem killing my mother, Cora. So Hook ends up talking to his dad and saying what he has to do, and his dad's like, I'm sorry, I always regretted what I did, and I'm gonna change man and everything. And Hook's like, okay, I'm gonna give you a safe passage out of here. And his dad stops him like, wait, I need 2. So he's like, I need 2. Why you need 2? Because he's like, I have a son. I'm like, oh, Hook has a baby brother. So Hook has the letters that he needs for his father and his baby brother, and he goes in and he sees Hook's dad telling him to his baby brother, the same thing that he told Hook. And the thing is, the child is actually he names his child after the brother Hook had lost, back in Neverland. And so Hook gets upset, and he felt like his dad was replacing him and his brother, he felt that way. And his father's like, no, that's not what it is. Is that this time around he wanted to do it right, you know what I'm saying? I'm like, that's understandable, you want to do it right, because you felt you fucked up the first time, so, you want to go by right here. So Hook actually ends up killing his father. And so then we go back to the present day Storybrooke, and Hook takes Excalibur, absorbs all the dark ones, and tells Emma to kill him with it. And Emma's like, no, she doesn't want to do it, but she ends up doing it. Hook ends up dying. And Emma's very upset by this. And so come to find out, when once Emma reverts back to herself, because all the darkness is gone, she could still hear the whispering of the dagger. So she's like, wait, hold on, why can't I still hear it? It should be gone, right? So we go over to the pawn shop, Rumpelstiltskin shop. Him and Belle just got a little busy, because we see got the sex hair going on. He's fixing his clothes. Find out Rumpelstiltskin is back being the fucking Dark One. I was like, wait, what? How did this happen? So find out when Emma came to him to ask for Excalibur, he used a little bit of magic that would once Hook absorbed all the Dark Ones and got stabbed with it, it would revert that power into Rumpelstiltskin himself. So we find out that after all Rumpelstiltskin did, become he had a clean slate, he became pure heart and everything. It seems that Rumpelstiltskin, no matter what, since his love for power is more than anything, and not only that, not only does he have the power he has the power of all the Dark Ones combined. From Nimue up to everybody, including Emma, who's a previous Dark One. So she asks for Gold's help into rescuing Killian. So we have is going on a journey. It's going to be Rumpelstiltskin, Emma, Snow White, Charming, Regina, Robin Hood, and I think Henry's going as well. Yeah, I believe it's Henry too. And yeah, it's Henry too. And they're head up going to the world, and Emma goes, "I will find you. I will always find you," like her parents do with each other. Because it's like Charming and Snow's thing. "I will find you. You found me. I will always find you." That's another thing. And so that's going on with them. Regina sends her sister Zelena, the Wicked Witch of the West, back to Oz because they was hoping that with Zelena having a child would, sort of change her. And Zen was like, "No, I'm gonna raise her to be wicked." They were like, "You gotta go." I'm like, a part of me is like, you can't really do that because at the end of the day, that is her daughter. I get it. I get that you want what's best for the child because that's Robin Hood's kids too. That's Robin Hood's kids. But it's like, you kind of don't feel sorry because Zelena was going to wait for them to die anyway and just take the kid because she was waiting for the Dark Ones, with the soul swap thing. Regina and Robin Hood was going to go off the underworld. So that is all for that first half of Once Upon a Time. We had definitely good, definitely interesting first season. Emma, as a Dark One, she really wasn't dark as the previous Dark Ones, like, Rumpelstiltskin and Nimue and everybody like that. She really wasn't, like, evil. I felt that as a Dark One, she did some things that was not nice, but wasn't, like, evil. So I felt that with her being the savior, she had more control over the previous Dark Ones not talking to her and was able to do more good things. Was able to not give into the darkness like every other Dark One before her. Rumpelstiltskin Hook on the other hand, with him already being a villain, for him to come into the darkness was more easier than anything for him. I think it was more easy to give into that temptation and going after, Rumpelstiltskin and trying to get his revenge. I think it was easier for Hook to succumb to that temptation because he's already been there. So for him, it was like being stuck right back in, at a problem. Emma, she's the savior, so I felt her savior side sort of got the upper hand in terms of her being a Dark One. Like, because if you notice throughout this first half of the season, Emma wasn't dark. Okay, if you notice with all the Dark Ones, their skin physically changes once they had committed some sort of murder. Emma never committed murder, so her hair was literally white, her face was pale, and she was sort of not really smiley, like she normally is, very optimistic, but her skin never fully changed into like scaly or whatever like everybody else did. Because she never killed nobody. She broke her son's heart, but she didn't physically kill anybody. She did some bad things, but nothing evil or wicked. So I think that's why, and we saw Emma the way she was like that. And so also coming in the season, since we are going to the underworld, that does mean we will eventually see Hercules and Megara, because the underworld is, we're going to kind of go obviously into a Greek mythology situation. So that means we're going to be seeing Hercules and Megara, but they have been, I did look it up, we're going to say they're going to have at least one episode of seeing, Herc. I'm like, yay, Hercules. So that means also, most likely, we're also going to see Hades, which does make sense because we know gods obviously exist in this world of Once Upon a Time because we did see Thor's hammer in Rumpelstiltskin's home. If you, I probably have to go back and watch the episode, which one it is, and probably put it in the description below. But we know that gods exist in this world. And if Thor exists, that means the Avengers exist as well, since Marvel is sort of under Disney, and also Star Wars. But obviously, we haven't not seen a lightsaber, so we're not gonna go no space thing. And with Thor, we're not gonna be seeing no Avengers. I mean, we're dealing with fairy tale characters, myths, legends, like Arthurian legends, Camelot, Chinese legends, Mulan. Who else we dealt with? Frankenstein. I think that was it. And of course, Wonderland. And I think about it. I don't think they'll go into the whole superheroes thing and a space thing, since Disney now has, shares in both Marvel and Star Wars. I don't think we'll be seeing any of, the Avengers or Luke Skywalker. I mean, they probably hint at it, like probably show us like a lightsaber or something. But other than that, I don't think they'll actually put them into play into this show, because it'll be like, okay, that's way too damn much now. You know what I'm saying? But a god, they could do, because we already seen Poseidon, who was Ursula's dad. So Hades, Zeus, the rest of the Greek Pantheon, we'll definitely see them probably. So comment, rate, subscribe, and I'll see you guys next time.